let me ask you. So you are familiar with the SALL case, the Santrokofi, the Akpafu, Lolobi, and
yes,
the area that was prevented from actually voting on the parliamentary during the parliamentary portion of the election. Apparently, they were allowed to vote for the presidential. What is the news? And Jibril, you can also help. What is the news? What is the latest? When are these people going to vote for parliamentary candidates? I've also seen some, rumors flying all over social media that the portion, the presidential results from that area was not added to, the figures for voter region. How true is any of this?
I think I will defer to Mr. Jibril, who was in Ghana. I understand the issue. I understand that for Mr. Amawu to win the Hohoe constituency, you remember, we of the one voter group, this issue came up during the referendum that split the voter region. Right. They wanted the Hohoe to become part of the OT region, or the SALL area, SALL, Santrokofi, Akpafu, Likpe, and I'm losing the last one. But that area, they decided they've always been with the voter region and wanted to be with the voter region. Right. And during actually, after the referendum, they took the case to court. They had a clear case. There was no doubt about the validity of their case. I don't want to go into the details of it. It will take time. But they had and then when it came to the election, they were assured that they would be able to vote in both the parliamentary and presidential election in the Hohoe constituency. Right. And then a day before the election, the story changed and said you could only what in the presidential, but not in the parliamentary. Okay. Who does that? What country, what banana republic does that? And yeah, that's where Ghana finds itself. And so they voted, and they have been disenfranchised. What is going to be the remedy? I have no idea. But Mr. Jibril, I'll defer to you for the details as to exactly where that case is headed.
So Jibril, while you answer that, let's look forward, right? What is going to happen? Are they going to be voting in that area for their parliamentary candidate or for parliament? And if that is going to happen, when is it going to happen?
I think that for the future, I mean, that's another clear reason why the NDC or even the people of the SALL area should head to court. Because in my non-legal, I'm not a lawyer, but my non-legal understanding of things, that the situation where a certain group of people are not represented in Ghana's legislature or didn't have a say on who becomes the leader of this country is clearly a violation of the law. And I'm sure the case in court, the right things will be done. But here again, let me say this. This is not an accident. It's not a mistake. It's a clear case of gerrymandering or a clear case of, intentionally altering the boundaries of a constituency so that the MPP can make a case and win a seat in an area they cannot win a seat in when things are free and fair. So, in the Volta region, the MPP had two, if I'm not right, I stand to be corrected, two ministers, Peter Amawu, the energy minister, and Kofi Jameshi, who is from Ketun of my constituency, two ministers who were contesting for parliamentary seats. And these two constituencies were targeted heavily by the MPP in the influx of resources, money, and stuff to make them win these two seats. Right. I believe that as things went on and on and on, and they realized that the Hohoe seat was not going to be easy, they took the plan B, which is to alter the borders of the constituency on the eve of the election.
Right.
The sad thing is that even if the people of Lolobi, Akpafu, and all those places were going to be given a new constituency, that could have been done before the elections. And in my lay view is that if that has not been done, they are not given a new constituency, then their previous original status quo constituency that they belong must hold. And the sad thing of it all is that the NDC candidate, I think Dr. is a female, I've forgotten the name,
Right.
hails from one of these 4 communities that were disenfranchised. So, I can, let me speak with Ketu North as an example. I come from Fenny. In Ketu North, we have 4 key zones: Fenny zone, Joje zone, Afife, and Feta zones. These 4 blocks form the constituency. Kofi Jameshi comes from the Joje zone, which has a heavy number of voters.
Right.
Aveji, the current MP who won the election, comes from the Feta zone. That also has a lot of voters. Afifa zone has another block of voters, and my zone, Fenny zone, has a block of voters. Just imagine that on after campaigning, politics now is data science.
Right.
You research on the ground and find out where your weaknesses are, where your strengths are, and focus your campaign on the areas that you can turn out votes to win the election. So just imagine that Kofi Jameshi did the research and found out that his strength is Joje zone. So he did a lot of campaign there, pumped in a lot of research, a lot of work. And then on the eve of December 7th, the EC announced that the people of Joje cannot vote for parliamentary. It's only going to be Penny people, Afifa people, and Feta people. He would lose. In fact, he lost anyway. But based on the analogy I'm giving, he will lose miserably. That is what happened in Hohoe. So the EC colluded again and did alter the boundaries to help Amewu zone. He said he's from Hohoe. He has been a DC at Hohoe. He has done a lot of work at Hohoe, and knowing very well that if the other towns like Lolobi, Akpafu, Santrokofi, and all those places are taken out, he will win, and that is why he won. And I think the people need to challenge that in court and make sure that the right thing is done. I would suggest that election needs to be rerun. Either that or processes are put in place to give the SALL people a constituency, which cannot be done by Ghana's laws before January 7th, because they need to put in a CI that has to mature a whole lot of things before a new constituency can be created. So we are in a fix. It's well, this is one thing I call combination of collusion and incompetence. It's a combination. You can't, incompetence, but clearly collusion, deliberate attempt to disenfranchise some people to the benefit of one person.
So the people who call it the Amewu miracle in Hohoe region should probably have a better understanding of what actually occurred before they even call it that.
Yes. Amewu,
no miracle in that. This is pretty much just gerrymandering. Yeah.
There was no miracle. It's pure gerrymandering, and Hohoe is a stronghold. Of course, every politician has a stronghold, no matter what party you come from. If you see the skirt and blouse that has happened in Ghana, even in Akan areas, in Volta region, in Ketu North, there was a lot of skirt and blouse. If you go to Joje, where Kofi Jameshi comes from, he got a lot of parliamentary votes, but Mahama got most of the presidential votes. So that's what happened in Hohoe. Look at the numbers. Mahama won Hohoe heavily, right? And Amewu won the parliamentary because that is his stronghold. His people stood with him. If they allowed the original boundaries to prevail, or if they communicated the new boundaries early enough, the NDC candidate would have strategize his campaign according to that, and change things. So there was no miracle. In fact, it was a clear case of criminal engineering of boundaries to support his speed.